Yarny friends, it is Rachel here with Yarn at Play. How are you guys? I am so excited to be doing another podcast episode for you guys today. I feel like I have a lot to catch you guys up on. It's been a while since I've done one of these and it has just been a nutso couple of weeks. So let's get into it, shall we? Let me show you. I think I have two things to show you. I'm going to call both of them whips because technically neither of them are fully finished. I mean, one is for sure a whip. The other one is like, it just needs a bit of finishing and it's done. So I will show you that. I wanted to show you my daughter's blanket, like the full finished checkerboard blanket that I made on my Addie, but she is upstairs sleeping and using it. So we'll have to save that for a different episode. But I will show you what I've been working on. So this past weekend, we went to Indiana to visit my husband's family over the Labor Day weekend. It was Labor Day weekend here in the United States, which just means that we have an extra long weekend. It's kind of like the end of summer holiday here in the States. So we went down to Indiana to visit their family, and I was away from my knitting machine, so no knitting machine stuff got done, but I obviously had my hook, so I got hooking on something. And I probably tried, let me think, tried that. I tried 5 different things. I ripped out a total of 5 different things. I started 5 different things while I was down there, didn't like any of them, and just ripped them back. It happens, right? So some of that was me wanting to learn new stitches and just get a feel for them. And that always is just a bit, it was just mostly like little swatchy stuff to see if I even like the stitch enough to really put the effort into trying to come up with something bigger to do. And I will say there was a couple stitches that I liked that I was happy with, but just didn't like it was just a swatch. I wanted to save the yarn for something else, so I pulled them back. And then there were a couple other things. There was a couple different beanie things that I had in my head that I tried to make. So I was like, oh, I make a beanie. Those are fast. I can knock out a couple beanies over the weekend. And I didn't like any of them. And I should have just pulled up a pattern and used somebody else's pattern and made something so I could say, hey, I actually did make a couple beanies over the weekend. But even that, like, I don't know why. Like, I just wasn't feeling it. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm in a slump with my CROJO. Like, my crochet mojo is a little bit off right now. And part of that is because I've been having so much fun with my knitting machine, and part of that is just, I don't know, I'm just a little off. There's so much beautiful stuff out there, but I still just haven't been feeling terribly inspired for whatever reason. So that is that. I mean, it probably comes down to, like, I just need to go yarn shopping, right? Because I have like 4 ideas in my head of things that I really, really, really do want to make. I just don't have the yarn for them. But you know how money is. I'm not gonna go yarn shopping when I don't have the budget for it right now. So those are all on the back burner, and all of those have been on the back burner for like over a month, just because the budget just hasn't been there. So saving up my pennies to get the yarn for some of those projects. And that'll be good. So I will show you what I did have yarn for and I was working on while I was there. So this is just a granny square triangle scarf that I am working up. After trying 5 different things and not liking how any of them looked, I needed something mindless and simple to make me feel better. And that's what this was. So, yeah, it's just a triangle granny shawl scarf thing. It's not done yet. I will have a million ends to weave in, which is a pain in the butt. But the reason why I have a million is because I really had been wanting for a long time to work up a pattern using a variegated yarn and a solid yarn together, and a variegated that was self-striping. So can you see how it starts out purpley and then it fades into that blue and what is that, green? Blue and green. And then it goes into blue and brown. And then I was just starting to get out of the blue and brown, and it was turning into more of like a mint green and gold down here on the end. So that yarn is Mandala Tweed Stripes in the colorway White Elephant. And there's a lot more colors in it than just that, but that is how it is fading out through the triangle shawl. I'm hoping that before it's done, that I will get to, there's like some really pretty pinks that I'm coming into, pinks and purples. I'm hoping to get those in on the end. The color fade on this is longer, like Mandala, they're very long color fades. So it's, I would have liked something with a slightly shorter color fade so that it would be a little more obvious, but it's still really pretty. And then the yellow is, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby in Sun Gold. So you can see how that is working up. And I think that that's a fun fall project. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, hold it up real close so you can hopefully see. The colors are not coming very true on camera. Of course not, because that'd be way too easy. That's a little better. Here, let me turn my light off here a minute and see if that'll... Yeah, that's a little more accurate. You can see it's still not, it's still washed out a little bit. Those colors pop more than that, but there it is. Turn my light back on. So that's the first thing. This definitely has a ways to go. It's not finished yet. I don't want it to just be a scarf. I want it to be like, so the corners will wrap all the way around and hang down. You know how they do. You've all seen those kinds of things before. And then the other thing that I just worked up tonight, I was in a funk. My mood's been off, you guys. My depression has been kind of bad lately, which is not fabulous, but you know, you work through it. And I was just kind of in a funk after we got back from Indiana today because, you know, there's always 1,000 things to do after you come back from a trip, and the kids were in the car for a long time and they were crabby and everyone was kind of on edge. So I sat down at my knitting machine just to do something cathartic. And I grabbed this yarn out of my stash. I grabbed some Lana Bella from Ice Yarn and worked it up on my knitting machine, and I could not be happier. Look at how beautiful that is. You see that? Look at that yarn. Look at that gradient fade on those color changes. I mean, I knew that Lana Bella had that because I've worked with Lana Bella before, and I only got one pack. I made a couple of entire projects out of Lana Bella because they come in a pack of 4. So you buy a single pack, you get 4 skeins. So this is an infinity scarf. You see that marling in there a little bit in that fade. Isn't that beautiful? I love it so much. So this is going, it's not finished because I still have my waist yarn attached. I finished this literally right before I sat down to film. And I intentionally ended it on similar colors there so that I can graft those ends together. And this will be a fun infinity scarf. That is my plan. So that is how that's gonna go. Kind of see if I can show you what that's gonna look like and hide my ends here. So that is, you see that? Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Ah, I love it. It's such a pretty yarn. It's such a pretty yarn. And it has, what is it? I think it's wool acrylic. I want to say it's 30% wool and 70% acrylic. And it is just, it's so beautiful. I just love it. It's just so pretty. I'm just going to sit here like that so you can see it. It's just gorgeous. I'm so happy with it. I'm so happy with how that turned out. And it matches my shirt, right? I mean, the patterns don't match. It's plaid and stripes, but the colors are the same. So, you know, I'm kind of coordinating, right? So that is what I worked up tonight. And this is super squishy and soft too. Like, it doesn't feel like it has wool in it. It really doesn't. It's just beautiful. It's a roving style yarn. You can see it's a roving style yarn. So it does have some thick to thin going on. And it worked up really, really well on my knitting machine. And I really want to buy more because they have all the colors in stock right now. Like all of the colors that they have available for Lanabella are in stock right now. And some of them are just like drop your jaw gorgeous. I'll link it in the comments if you're interested. I am an Ice Yarn affiliate, full disclosure, but it's beautiful yarn. I can't help it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I'm just going to gush about it because that gradient fade, that just smooth, beautiful, like that's truly an ombre transition right there. Like there's no hard color breaks in that. They just blend together so beautifully. And that is a hard thing to find. It's so pretty. Anyways, I love me some Lanabella. I love me some Lanabella. It's top 1, 2 favorite yarns from Ice Yarn. Like truly, it's great stuff. So this is my pretty happy scarf. Yes, and I think that that's mostly it. What have you guys been working on? What have you guys been stitching on? Tell me in the comments. If you're not already a part of the Facebook group, go hop on the link in the description and join the Facebook group and show me what you've been working on. I want to see it. I love to see that kind of stuff. What else? Oh my gosh, 1,000 subscribers. Holy cannoli. Like 1,000 subscribers. That happened. The hashtag Share the Yarny Love giveaway has, so many people have taken it up, and I'm just, my mind is blown, and I'm so incredibly humbled and just thrilled to see all these people doing these giveaways to get people yarn who might not otherwise be able to get yarn. Pass it on, guys. And that's the thing, like you don't have to be a YouTuber to just share some yarn with somebody who might need it. Like we all know ourselves. We know what we could really use. Like for me, I have these projects in my head that I love to do, and I'm just not doing them right now, which is fine. But I still have a ton of yarn in my stash that I can bless other people with. Like I have my 1,000 subscriber giveaway / hashtag Share the Yarny Love Part 2 giveaway going on right now. I just filmed that video, and look at this. Look at this box of yarn that I have to bless somebody with, bless 2 people with. I love it. I love it. And I know myself, and I know that these are not yarns that I'm going to grab for. And so why would I keep them on my shelf when I can give them to somebody who might really love them and be able to use them? So it's a good thing, you guys. So if you think of it and are just feeling motivated, grab a couple skeins of yarn, throw them in a bag, bring them over to a friend's house that you know who is into yarn crafts. Just share a little love. Anything else? I think that that's mostly it. Back to normal upload schedule this week. Fell off the wagon with it last week, guys. It was rough. Like I said, my mental health has been a little up and down the past couple weeks. But I appreciate your patience with that and being able to hang in there with me with that. I'm really excited to be filming again. School has started. We're back into a routine. I feel like life is going to regulate a little bit again. Back to school season's crazy. My oldest has been back for a couple of weeks, but it's always hit or miss because the first week they were back, they had 3 days in. The second week they only had 4 days in. And then we had Labor Day weekend, which was a total of they had a Friday off and a Monday off. And so this week they'll only have 4 days, and then next week will be their first week finally where they have a full 5-day week. And then my 4-year-old starts preschool on Wednesday. So if you're thinking about it, pray for her, because I feel like she's feeling a little anxious about it. Like, she's excited. She knows that she has fun there, but when we were there for the like orientation night or whatever, like all the kids went out on the playground to play, and like the school staff went out there and they were supervising the kids so that the parents could sit and listen to the spiel in their classrooms and not have to keep an eye on kiddos or whatever. And my 4-year-old, my little Wilhelmina, she lost track of, like, I was very clear with her, like, you know, if you need something, here's the teachers on the playground, they will help you. You know, mom's gonna go inside because I have to go sit and listen to your teacher. Like, everything is fine. Like, I'm still here. But for whatever reason, she just lost track of me and just had like a full-blown panic attack on the playground. Oh, she was a mess, poor kid. And ever since then, she's been feeling a little anxious about going back. So I know she's gonna do good. She's one of those kids that once she gets into it, she's great. It's just that anticipation that just makes her anxious. So yeah, say a little prayer for her this week if you think of it, because she goes back to preschool on Wednesday. So anyways, that was not Yarny content related, but that's what's going on in my life right now. So anyways, I'll leave it there, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Keep an eye out for those uploads Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. I gotta figure out what I'm doing this week. That's what I need to do. I need to sit down and plan out my videos for this week because I've been so helter-skelter that I don't have it written down yet. So I'm coming up with a plan. It's gonna be good. I just gotta figure out what it is. Yeah, you know. All right. Bye, guys.